Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Americans have celebrated Labor Day for nearly 150 years. To many, the holiday marks the end of summer and an opportunity to gather for one last cookout before fall hits. But there's so much more to Labor Day than just burgers and hot dogs. It is an opportunity to recognize and honor the tireless efforts of American workers, and there's no better time than now to acknowledge the skilled craftsmen and craftswomen in the Indiana building trades. Over the last 2 years, thanks to both federal and state leadership, we've seen historic investments in Indiana's infrastructure. Because of these generational investments, the labor movement is seeing an increased workforce demand that will last for decades as the economy and middle class are simultaneously rebuilt. To meet this demand for skilled workers, Indiana's building trades unions are working collaboratively to secure jobs and train the infrastructure generation. Through our joint labor management registered apprenticeship training programs, our building trades unions are in a tremendous position to ramp up training capacity to meet the moment by initiating middle-class, family-sustaining careers for all members of local communities. Our apprentices receive progressive wages and benefits while learning their craft through invaluable on-the-job experiences and state-of-the-art classroom instruction from the industry's best teachers, and perhaps most importantly, earn a nationally recognized credential without the burden of student debt. Registered apprenticeships in the construction industry are a legitimate and viable alternative to the traditional 4-year college degree. Across America, the building trades and our contractor partners invest over $1.6 billion of private money every year into this gold standard training model, with apprentices earning $300,000 more over the life of their career compared to non-apprenticeship participants. More specifically in Indiana, the union construction industry spends over $54 million annually to train the most efficient and highly skilled craft workers in the industry. This collective investment has resulted in a 78% increase in our union construction apprentice participants over the past decade. When you look at the total number of new apprentices in the construction industry in Indiana, 71% received their training from a union program. In that same time, union programs have trained 84% of the state's female construction apprentices and 80% of black apprentices. As you can see, registered apprenticeship training programs are critical to rebuilding the middle class and a key element in developing an essential workforce that will only continue to grow with the historic investments being implemented as we speak. Even outside of the construction industry, the labor movement is rapidly gaining strength and popularity. According to a 2022 Gallup poll, 71% of Americans approve of labor unions, the highest mark since 1965. The reason? People are recognizing that unions push for better wages and benefits, provide employees with representation, rights, and job security, and offer better pensions or retirement benefits. More broadly, they also lead to increased workplace fairness and an overall dignity of work. Labor Day is a celebration of America's backbone, everyday American workers. It's on all of us to do what we can to support and advocate for their rights. When union workers have an active voice in the workplace and the ability to negotiate for better conditions, the bar is raised for all workers. When unions are strong, America is strong. As you enjoy the company of family and friends this Labor Day, I also encourage you to take a moment to acknowledge, empower, and uplift the hardworking men and women that keep our state and country moving. Michael M. Santiago, Getty Images. This Labor Day, one thing's for sure: organized labor is on the move. Unions have already notched some big wins this year, including at UPS, and they are looking for more, with writers and actors striking in Hollywood and the United Auto Workers Union playing hardball in contract negotiations with the big three automakers. And now, organized labor feels like they have their wins at their back. A tight job market has given workers increased bargaining power. Polls show public support for unions is high, and the Biden administration is on their side. There are big obstacles though. Unionizing efforts face stiff opposition from many employers, and there's still considerable uncertainty about the economic outlook. That's the prevalent thinking at unions. Companies have racked up big profits during the pandemic, and employers have been scrambling to find enough workers in a resilient jobs market. And for the moment at least, unions enjoy strong public support. Auto workers, for example, point to a Gallup poll showing 75% of people support the UAW in its contract talks with the big automakers. Unions also have a friendly administration in the White House right now. Vice President Kamala Harris expressed her support for organized labor last week, saying unions make our middle class and our entire economy more strong. A report from the Treasury Department last week showed on average, unionized workers earn 10–15% more than workers who don't have the benefit of a union. They also enjoy better benefits, while unionized workplaces tend to see smaller racial and gender pay gaps. And organized labor has scored some big victories lately. Unionized pilots at American Airlines scored pay gains of more than 40% under their new contract, while UPS drivers achieved what the Teamsters Union calls the most lucrative agreement in the delivery company's history. We have seen that there are examples where employers come to the table, sit down, bargain, and arrive at results, Acting Labor Secretary Julie Su told NPR in an interview. I think that is continuing to inspire what people have called a hot labor summer. It's been a so-called hot labor summer, and more big battles loom in the fall. The Hollywood writers' strike for better pay and job security has already lasted over 100 days, surpassing the last writers' strike in 2007. And the UAW contract with Ford, Stellantis and General Motors is due to expire in mid-September. The union representing automakers is demanding big pay hikes and benefit increases and are ready to strike if they don't get what they want. These two fights are drawing outsized attention because of what they represent, a battle for job security in changing times. Hollywood is going through major shifts with the surging popularity of streaming services, while Detroit is seeing automakers pouring billions to transition into electric vehicles, which generally require fewer workers to assemble. That creates uncertainty on both sides. Workers want a say in how these two industries should navigate those changes, and anxious employers want to preserve their flexibility as much as they can. So unions may have notched some key victories as of Labor Day this year, but there are still plenty of more battles to come.